Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning, completely exhausted by your own life, asking the empty room, why does this always happen to me? It is a question that carries the weight of frustration, sadness, and sometimes total despair. Maybe you find yourself attracting the exact same toxic relationships over and over again. Maybe you build up your finances only to watch them crumble in a sudden, predictable crisis. Or maybe you just feel stuck in a loop, watching other people move forward while you are constantly tripping over invisible hurdles. We tend to look up at the sky and blame luck, fate, or some cruel twist of destiny. We label ourselves as victims of a chaotic universe. But what if the universe isn't chaotic at all? What if it operates on a set of precise, invisible laws, and you have simply been playing the game without knowing the rules? In his deeply transformative book, Why Does It Happen in My Life?, Manoj Ambike challenges everything we think we know about luck and circumstance. He forces us to look in the one place we desperately want to avoid. The mirror, the core premise of the book, is as unsettling as it is liberating. You are not a victim of your life. You are the architect of it. The repetitive patterns, the recurring heartbreaks, the chronic financial struggles, these are not random punishments handed down by an angry universe. They are the direct, physical manifestations of your own internal programming. Your life is essentially a massive, highly accurate 3D printer, and it is simply printing out the dominant thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that you hold inside. To understand why things happen in your life, you first have to understand the most powerful, yet most misunderstood tool you possess: the subconscious mind. Imagine your mind is an iceberg. The tiny tip visible above the water is your conscious mind, the part of you that sets goals, makes New Year's resolutions, and desires wealth, love, and happiness. But the massive hidden mountain of ice beneath the surface is your subconscious. This part of your mind does not sleep, it does not argue, and it does not judge. It is simply a highly efficient tape recorder that has been running since the day you were born. It recorded every careless word spoken by your parents, every failure you internalized in school, and every heartbreak you suffered. By the time you reach adulthood, this subconscious mind controls up to 95% of your thoughts, actions, and reactions. Here is where the conflict arises and where the answer to, why does it happen to me, truly lies. Your conscious mind says, I want a loving, respectful relationship. But deep in your subconscious, there is a recorded tape playing on loop from a childhood experience that says, I am not worthy of love, or people will eventually abandon me. When these two minds are in conflict, the subconscious wins every single time. It is 1,000,000 times more powerful. So, without even realizing it, you will self-sabotage. You will push away a good partner, or you will inexplicably be drawn to someone who treats you poorly, simply because your subconscious mind is comfortable with that familiar feeling of rejection. It is seeking to prove its own core belief right. The outer world is simply reflecting the inner conviction. Manoj Ambike explains this through the fundamental law of cause and effect. In ancient philosophies, this is often referred to as karma, but strip away the mystical connotations, and it is pure, undeniable logic. For every action, every thought, and every emotion, there is a corresponding reaction in the physical world. Think of your mind as a fertile field. The soil does not care what you plant. If you plant a mango seed, you will get a mango tree. If you plant a poisonous weed, the soil will grow that weed with the exact same efficiency. The universe does not filter your thoughts to decide what is good or bad for you. If you constantly obsess over your debts, your fears, and your anxieties, you are planting seeds of lack. The universe responds by saying, "Your wish is my command," and delivers more situations for you to feel anxious about. This brings us to the most dangerous trap a human being can fall into: the victim mentality. When bad things happen, our ego's immediate defense mechanism is to point the finger outward. We blame the economy, we blame our parents, we blame our boss, or we blame society. Blaming feels good in the short term. It relieves us of the heavy burden of responsibility. It is a comfortable blanket that says, "It's not my fault." But this comfort comes at a terrible, catastrophic price. The moment you blame someone or something else for your circumstances, you instantly give away all your power to change those circumstances. If your happiness depends on your boss changing, or the economy improving, or your partner acting differently, you will be a hostage forever. Ambike's work demands that you take absolute radical responsibility for everything in your life. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself or drowning in guilt. It simply means acknowledging that your past choices, conscious or unconscious, brought you here. And because you brought yourself here, you have the absolute power to take yourself somewhere else. Let's dive deeper into the mechanics of how we attract our reality. It is not just about positive thinking. You cannot just stand in front of a mirror, force a smile, and repeat, "I am rich, I am successful," while your heart is pounding with the terror of unpaid bills. The universe does not speak the language of English or Hindi or any human tongue. It speaks the language of vibration and emotion. Your thoughts are the electrical signal, but your emotions are the magnetic pull. If you think a positive thought, but feel a negative emotion of desperation, the magnet pulls in desperation. This is why people who desperately chase money often remain broke, and people who desperately chase love often end up lonely. Desperation is a frequency of lack. It screams to the universe, "I do not have this." And the universe responds by giving you more of not having it. To break the cycle of recurring negative events, you have to fundamentally shift your internal frequency before the external reality changes. This is the hardest part of the human experience. We are wired to react to what we see. We want to see the money in the bank before we feel abundant. We want to see the loyal partner before we feel secure. But the law of creation works in reverse. You must feel it inside to see it outside. Ambike points out that the fastest, most effective way to hack this emotional frequency is through the practice of profound gratitude. This is not the superficial thank you we mumble out of habit. This is an intense emotional appreciation for the things you have right now, no matter how small. When you genuinely feel grateful for your health, the roof over your head, or a simple cup of coffee, you shift your entire nervous system out of the survival and lack mode and into the abundance and creation mode. You become a magnet for better things. But what about the heavy baggage we carry? What about the people who have genuinely wronged us? Here, the book touches on a deeply psychological and almost stoic truth. Forgiveness is the ultimate selfish act. When we hold on to anger, resentment, or a desire for revenge against someone who hurt us, we think we are punishing them. We hold on to that anger like a burning coal, waiting for the right moment to throw it. But all the while, we are the ones getting burned. Resentment is an incredibly dense, low-frequency emotion. If you are vibrating at the frequency of anger from a past relationship, you cannot possibly align with the frequency of a peaceful, loving new relationship. They exist on different channels. To ask why a healthy relationship doesn't happen in your life while you hold on to toxic anger is like tuning your radio to a heavy metal station and wondering why you can't hear classical music. You have to let it go. Not because what they did was okay, but because your future is too important to be poisoned by your past. So, how do we practically reprogram this massive, stubborn, subconscious mind so that different, better things start happening in our lives? The first step is to become the silent observer of your own mind. Most of us go through life on autopilot, letting our thoughts drag us around like a dog on a leash. You must learn to take a step back and watch your thoughts without getting tangled in them. Notice the narratives you spin. How many times a day do you silently tell yourself, "I can't afford this," or "I'm not smart enough," or "people always let me down"? Once you catch these thoughts, you have to interrupt the pattern. You must consciously hit the stop button on the mental tape player. The second step is intentional visualization accompanied by elevated emotion. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and an experience that is vividly imagined with deep emotion. This is a scientific fact used by top athletes and performers. Spend time every day sitting in silence, visualizing the exact life you want. But don't just see it like a movie on a screen. Step inside the scene. Feel the texture of the clothes you are wearing, hear the sounds around you, and most importantly, feel the overwhelming joy, peace, and gratitude of already having that life. Do this consistently, and you will begin to rewire the neural pathways in your brain. You will begin to install a new software program. As you start this process, Ambike offers a vital warning. Prepare for the pushback. When you try to change your deep-seated beliefs, your old self will fight for survival. You might declare that you are stepping into abundance, and the very next day, you get hit with an unexpected car repair bill. This is where most people quit. They say, "See, this stuff doesn't work. The universe is still out to get me." But this is actually a test of your new programming. It is the friction of the old reality breaking down to make way for the new one. In these moments, your reaction is everything. If you panic and fall back into the victim mentality, you restart the old loop. If you stay calm, trust the process, and maintain your internal peace regardless of the external chaos, you break the cycle forever. Ultimately, Why Does It Happen in My Life is not just a self-help book. It is a manual for taking back the steering wheel of your existence. It teaches us that life is not a series of random accidents, but a flawless, unyielding mirror reflecting our innermost self. The people who annoy you, the circumstances that frustrate you, the obstacles that block you, they are all your greatest teachers. They are showing you exactly what unhealed wounds, limiting beliefs, and negative patterns still exist inside your subconscious. When you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" your entire paradigm shifts. You move from being a passive character in a tragedy to the powerful author of a masterpiece. The power to change your financial destiny, to attract profound love, and to wake up with genuine peace of mind has never been in the hands of fate, the stars, or other people. It has always been, and will always be, entirely within you. You are the creator. It is time to start creating with intention. If this deep dive into the hidden mechanics of your life brought you value today, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are dedicated to uncovering the most powerful strategies from the greatest books ever written to help you build the ultimate life. Share this video with someone who feels stuck right now and needs to hear this truth. Until next time, guard your thoughts, elevate your emotions, and keep building your masterpiece.